So now we will read the last chapter of Ghosts at the Castle, chapter 12, The End of It All, on page 32. Happily, Brian came into the great hall. This is the 4th day after our wedding, and no more ghosts have come, he said. Now Julie came running in. "Oh, Brian, you're all right. How wonderful." She looked around the hall and then stopped suddenly. "Look at that," she cried. "The portrait of Lady Beryl isn't black now." Said Brian. "What's that on the floor over there?" They went over to the portraits and saw 2 bags lying on the floor. Julie picked up a bag and looked inside. "There's gold in here," she said. Brian looked in the other bag. "And in this one too," he said. In came Brian's parents and Mr. McPhantom. "Are you all right, Brian?" asked Mrs. Happydale. "Oh, I'm so happy." Mr. McPhantom looked at the portrait of Lady Beryl. "Well, well," he said, "the old lady isn't so terrible now." "Shh, Father, don't make her angry," said Julie. "Look what we've found." "Gold," said Mr. McPhantom. "Wonderful. You can think what you want to do with it." "Oh, yes," cried Julie. "Brian, let's do that right away." Brian turned to look at Lady Beryl and the other pictures on the walls of the great hall of Ghostmore Castle. "Fine," he said, "but let's go to another room first. I think the ladies are watching us." The end. So the next thing to do is exercise 89, mixed questions. And this is about what happened in chapter 12. So first you should try to do the questions yourself, and then you can watch the rest of the video to see what the answers are. So number 1, who came happily into the great hall? And the answer is Brian came happily into the great hall. And number 2, who came running in now? And the answer is Julie came running in. And 3, which portrait isn't black now? And the answer is the portrait of Lady Beryl isn't black now. So now she's not so angry and upset. The next question is, where did Brian and Julie see 2 bags lying? And the answer is they saw 2 bags lying on the floor. Number 5, what was in the bags? Gold was in the bags. 6, what did Mr. McPhantom say when he saw Lady Beryl's portrait? And here, Mr. McPhantom said, "The old lady isn't so terrible now." And you might notice when you say what somebody said, when you write it down, you say, Mr. McPhantom said, and then put a comma. And in English, we use these quotation marks at the beginning of what the person said, and then at the end. And then number 7, where did Brian want to go before they talked about the gold? And the answer is Brian wanted to go to another room because he thought the ladies in the portraits might be listening to them. And that is the end. And the last thing for you to do is to think, what do you think Julie and Brian will do with all of this gold that they have? Okay, goodbye.